Have you guys been watching The Dropout?
No.
What's The Dropout?
It's the Elizabeth Holmes story.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's
Amanda
Seyfried.
She's the Theranos chick.
Oh, Theranos. Okay, I think I was confusing her with Elizabeth Smart, who was the girl that got kidnapped. and escaped.
No, I watched there was a documentary on HBO. I think it was called Bad Blood. I watched that on her. And
yeah, there's like
Amanda
a few.
Seyfried seems like such a weird pick. Like she's
does
a
the
fine
voice.
actress, but like she's not really.
It's pretty. She's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's kind of that. It's getting to the point where it's like Dolores Umbridge-esque from Harry Potter.
Yeah, she's starting to
where
annoy
it's like
us.
I don't like her. I don't want to watch anything with her.
Oh,
in a
really?
movie 'cause
She's so good at portraying
yeah,
a bad character.
she's doing the voice that Elizabeth Holmes did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's different. That's the thing is like every time I see her do it, I'm like, yeah, it's not quite right how she's doing it.
It's
weird.
It's not because it's like unique. It's very Neil Breen-esque, I guess.
Well, I think what it is whenever I see Amanda Seyfried do it, you can see her mouth go like, I'm talking like this now. Whereas
Yeah.
Elizabeth Holmes, it was here. That's where
Yeah.
she did it. So she could do this and talk really low without actually making her mouth move
Yeah,
at all
she
different
could've.
like this.
I've never
She
heard
have to
Elizabeth Holmes
purse her
speak. Does
mouth.
she have like a deep voice like
Yeah,
that?
But it's
she-
like
intentional.
deep
it's
voice.
intentional.
Oh.
So that she could be like the boss.
Like taken
commanding or
seriously in
yeah.
a place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because her whole deal was like she made like a fake. It was supposed to be something about like curing cancer or curing some disease.
No,
or,
it was just basically like a one fits all like blood test.
Yeah.
That's
Like instead
right.
of needing to do like a whole thing and going to the hospital and like having blood drawn and
You could
everything,
do it
it's
at
like you do like
Walgreens.
and you do like
Oh.
a pinprick and you just do like a drop of blood
Okay.
Yeah.
and then you like put it in this machine and it's like it lets you know if you have like any disease or something like
and then
that.
Of course, that's all horse shit.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
basically never had
It
like a
never
working
worked.
thing, and they just
Okay.
defrauded investors. And
Yeah. And like any doctor, I guess at the time would have said like, yeah, no, that's literally impossible. Like you can't do that. But it was just her skills of manipulation that like
Right.
got them as far as they did or whatever.
Right.
She watched that TED talk about faking it until you made it, and then she was
Right.
like,
Pretty
"I can
much.
do that."
Yeah. Which is like it's like the medical version of something like fire fraud.
Oh
Kinda.
yeah,
Like that's the same thing. Like that guy was just like, yeah, this is going to be
Fire
cool.
Fest.
Trust me.
Firefest. Yeah.
That's what I called it, right?
Fire
Fire
fraud.
fraud.
That's like the
I
name.
knew-
That's not
I
even
know.
an
Yeah,
documentary,
Fire
yeah.
Fest. Yeah, Fire Fest. My bad.
That's what I was gonna compare it to, because there's like quite a few Theranos things right now. There's
Yeah,
that just
there's
recently
like
came out.
another, or like ABC did a thing
Yeah.
on it too or something. Yeah,
Hmm.
I know. I wonder why like
I
not
just
like
realized
that.
he's got a wet spot on his shirt for some reason.
Where?
It's like on his belly button. You can't
Oh.
really see it from that angle. But sorry, we're watching the movie again.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Uh,
She must.
She wants the bed out.
Wait, is it? It's not the trailer. This is the movie's
This
actually.
is the actual
yeah, he's
movie.
playing.
Oh.
He's just playing the movie again.
Oh my god!
Just in
Oh,
case we need
Jesus.
refreshers.
See, that's the problem though. Is we're gonna be talking and then we're
And
just
we're just
all
gonna,
gonna
like-
stop and
yeah.
watch because it's like, oh yeah, this part.
Wait, what did you say?
Welcome back to There Will Be Duds. This is episode 39
Yeah.
of
Oh,
our show. I am
wait, that's it.
Wow. I
Your-
was thinking that's a lot.
sorta. I mean, technically, it could be, more than that.
Yeah.
Because of the ones that we did before, but since Ben and Arthur 39.
Wow.
And I'm your co-host TJ, aka J Spot Jack Cheese, and with me as always.
With me as always. Wait, no, that's the wrong part.
Yeah,
Scratch
you-
that. Reverse it. I am Nick, aka Dr. Funk on Twitch, and with me as always.
As always, I'm Travis, aka the Super General, and with me, as always,
Our special guest.
I'm a special guest and I don't have a cool name,
just
Keley.
say your name.
as always.
And this week we watched.
We should give our special guests, the ones that are recurring, we should give them nicknames.
Yeah.
have a nickname.
Do you have any like usernames that you use online?
Kelte 1023.
And what are the passwords for those usernames
Yeah.
that you use online?
Yeah, so this week we watched and are watching again right now. I'm gonna go with 2014 movie. There's actually 3 different years, but I'm gonna go with the one that's on his website. 2014 movie Fateful Findings, which is
a laptop that's not powered up.
Starring, directed, written, produced, edited by,
catered,
production design, set decorated, makeup, sound editing, catering, and casted by the inimitable Neil Breen.
Inevitable?
I know, I was just questioning that.
Inimitable is what I meant to say.
Indomitable.
I think I like inevitable.
Inimitable Neil Breen. It follows Dylan, played by Breen, a man who, an author, I guess, who is supposedly writing his second book, but he is secretly using his time to hack into the most secret government and corporate secrets or something. And along the way, he reconnects with a long-lost friend, and they rekindle their relationship, I guess. Well, I don't...
You actually make this sound like it has a plot.
I know, I'm doing pretty good.
This is...
And then some other people die.
Pretty much everybody
That's
dies.
mostly it. There's some other weird Lynchian aspects to it. It's what everyone think.
Well, we stopped the movie at, what was it?
47 minutes.
Yeah, and I was flabbergasted that it had only been 47 minutes, so that kind of gives you
right
a little bit.
The first...
I know,
Same.
everybody else said that, but...
I mean, I mean, basically the first 47 minutes of this movie are pointless.
Right.
Really.
And actually, the last part of the movie is
The last 47 minutes are also
So, like, the whole movie is
Yes.
pointless, in summary.
You know what it felt like, actually? I mean, yeah, like almost the entire movie felt like you were watching like YouTube videos and you were just getting auto-recommended and you were just like going down that wormhole, except there's only 2 videos that YouTube can like recommend to you in that same like area, so it just was replaying the same 2 videos over and over.
Yeah.
Maybe 3. That was him in his office, then him with his wife on the couch, and then the other couple.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it.
It's probably super easy to shoot. I mean, it's just like you sit at your office desk for like 2 hours and shoot all of the scenes that take place at your office desk like in a day.
Right.
You change outfits maybe once or twice and like that's it.
Change your shirt. That's what they did with that's clearly what they did with both of the like psychiatrist people. The lady was wearing the same velvet like dress the whole time, but he would change his shirt.
Well,
Right in the middle
if
of
we
the
want
scene.
if we want to get into this, there is, well, I think a lot like the synopsis and stuff like that is that it's probably more speculation than like actual solid like, oh yeah, it's confirmed that this is what happened. But there, according to the Wikipedia, there is kind of well, depending on your feeling about this, about what this says about her, but there is a reason for why she's always wearing the same clothes the whole time. Do you want to know why?
Oh yeah, because she's some
Who are
kind
we
of like
talking about?
spiritual.
She's the therapist.
Yeah, she's a ghost.
Yeah, she's in
Right.
She's wrapped up in this spiritual.
Right.
Coincidentally, that makes sense.
So I'm like, yeah, if you're of the, a lot of people like, a lot of like how ghosts are depicted and stuff is like they're always like wearing the clothes.
But I
when they died
mean,
or
if
whatever.
you go to this, oh here we go, here comes the ass.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, buddy. You actually get a little bit of balls there too. It looks like.
Yeah, if you're watching along at home, this is the part where Neil Breen just walks out of the hospital bed after untaping the tubes
from his gauzed face.
from his and then he walks out and you see a bit of his cheeks. Okay. And then there's like this dude in the black pants and the shoes. I have no idea who that's supposed to be.
Yeah, this is one of the things
we never know.
that you never. And then there's like he goes to the desert at the end, and there's like the gold book, and then those guys are like fade in for like a second. I noticed because after we finished watching this, we watched the the trailer for Twisted Pair, which is his most recent
And
like narrative.
looks infinitely better.
Yes.
And I noticed there was a scene where he was like in a really darkened room talking to people, and like the light was like just on their chests or something like that. It looked like there was like 3 dudes in suits.
Oh,
So I'm wondering if he has like a connected like universe from all of his movies.
The Breen extended.
this is like
Yeah.
it's autobiographical. That's why he's so fucked up. Is he actually got hit by a car?
Yeah.
Half
So-
of his brain died.
So a lot of what I'm like how I'm like explaining the plot is coming from like what I did some quick readings on Wikipedia and like Reddit. So again, these are probably more speculation, but like I guess the idea and like the whole point of like the car accident or whatever is that I guess that like that unlocked these like latent psychic powers that he had, and like the that like the stone gives him or whatever. And then that's why he decides to like go on his crusade. Also, he drains
boy got
all
some
the
long
blood
toes.
from his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part was gruesome.
Yeah, he's hemorrhaging blood in the shower.
It's very
And then
bloody.
she walks in and is just like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And then they just
Yeah.
start macking.
Dude,
And she's just covered in his blood.
Some like blood play stuff going on.
So far we have an homage to Carrie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's one at the end that from E.T.
No, that was in a Twisted Pair.
Oh, okay.
That was in
Yeah,
the trailer
that's
for
right.
that
That was the
one.
end of
This one
this.
didn't have that. No, this one had a phenomenal ending.
He's like, I can't tell if his emotionless face is just because that's what he does the whole movie, or if he's like, don't get a boner, don't get a boner, don't get a boner.
My
It's like
word.
taped to his leg.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I feel like that's like a thing with these types of movies, with these types of, dare I say, auteurs like Tommy Wiseau and I guess Neil Breen. It seems like in all of these types of movies, there's always like multiple sex scenes where this like melted plastic looking guy is just like, making out and having sex with like, I guess, for B movie standards, like the hottest women he could find.
Right.
Yeah.
Who probably are like, oh yeah, this'll like one of you said earlier is like, oh, this'll be my IMDb credit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, yeah, well, you got to pay your dues and you got to make out with this melted candle guy.
Yeah, with like a ball of cat hair on top of.
Yeah.
What is that hairline?
It is. It's what was the Miami Connection? Even like that, it's the self like heroization of themselves.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
they always have like a significant other, and it's almost like they portray themselves. For some reason, it seems like because it's the same thing in the room. Like they portray themselves as being like perfect and like pure, but then their significant others always are so like they all want to like kill themselves, or they're so like they hate
Weird
themselves.
thing that
They
keeps happening.
right. They hate everything about their life. The work is terrible. Work is so hard. And then like the guy's just trying to like fix them, and then he can't. So like it almost seems like it's a vehicle so that he can like bring in other women that he can like, instead of it being like, oh, I'm a bad guy and that's why I left her and I cheated on her. He didn't cheat on her. He doesn't cheat on her. I mean, he does kind of, but
Well, yeah, technically. 'Cause
At
she's
a
still
very
alive.
convenient time.
right.
He
But
cheats on her as she's dying.
So he's good.
That's right. By the end of the movie, I totally every character that kills themselves or dies in this movie, I just forget that they even exist after they're gone. Like, oh yeah, he had this weird Russian like mail order wife.
Right. This after watching the credits and seeing that he was the wardrobe person, that makes this seem like even I was just thinking like, oh, they just wear whatever stuff you want.
Mm-hmm.
No. Neil has an outfit for you for today.
At
If
least
you're
for
a
the-
woman, no bra, top,
And a tank top. Yeah.
Yep.
low-rise jeans.
It's like, okay, you're not going to show your nips. That's fine. You're going to be sleeping on a bed, and it's just going to be like under boob city.
Yeah.
Or like side boob city.
We need side boob.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of
a lot of feet stuff in this too.
Yeah.
something you guys just said, like the friend couple, about halfway ish through the movie, the Dylan's friend Jim is shot and killed by his wife. She stages it as a suicide. And
Just went to
then
check a pocket that wasn't there.
and then I don't know, later in the movie the daughter comes over to his house like one more time to try to seduce him, and then and then she mentions that it wasn't a suicide. But
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. No
That's it.
follow up on that.
Well, that is the conclusion. He says go to the cops, so that's what she does apparently.
I guess you're just supposed to assume that
yeah.
she
It's-
did
it-
that.
like,
and
the-
Slow
but
walk
like,
away.
are we to assume that in the timeline of the movie, that's probably like 5 days after she shot him? So like, are we to assume? I like how his response is go to the cops, but it was like this happened. Like, what do you think happened like 5 days ago? Do you think they just didn't call the cops then? Same with his wife. Like it's never really addressed. Like she kills herself in their bed,
uh-huh.
and then it's just like scene transition next
like,
thing.
no.
And the next day, it's his childhood friend is in the bed. Like she's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
oh, we just move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is hard. You just have to assume that, like, I think, like, from him and his accident, and then like there's a couple scenes, and now he doesn't have any bandages on, so it's probably a few weeks later at least. So probably the movie takes the course over, like, it could be like a year
Yeah.
or more. Like, you really don't know.
Well, I mean, we also just don't know how time works because, you know, when
And he keeps
At the very
losing his
beginning when
fucking
they're-
rock
Yeah.
and getting, like, why did it just drop down from?
and
Oh,
then
yeah,
the
this is
garbage
another
room.
one.
There's
Yeah.
no explanation. for
It's almost
this.
like this is like his, like a spiritual place. It's like
Right.
a non-physical.
Is he
It is,
wait?
but-
Is he supposed to be inside the cube?
I think so. Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I thought.
That's a good.
Oh.
Is that
theory.
what it is?
Yeah.
That's so
Oh,
stupid. I hate that.
I think
That's
so.
what that's
Could
what I
be.
assumed the whole time. Because like
I
right
did
here,
not
he
make
comes
that
comes
connection.
out. She's like, "Where did you go?"
Right.
And that's what I was like, "Oh, he's in the cube." And that's why the girl is in there too, because they found it when they were kids.
Oh,
Sure.
what?
Okay.
I thought she was
suppose.
saying it like, "Where did you go?" Because you were spacing out so bad for a while there. Like
Yeah.
in your head, where did you go?
They're so bad at like dropping stuff in a convincing way, in the way that they're trying to like intend to, like the coffee shit. When she spills the glass of wine at the end. I mean,
You can see her. Yeah, she doesn't just. You would just go like this, right?
Everyone just
Like
has,
that's like a
tremors.
your hand falls, but she goes like you can
She
see her
tilts
go
it.
like
Yeah,
that,
right.
like
yeah.
wrist action. I got distracted by that because I was gonna say this is a. Wait a minute, this is his psychotherapist. I always thought this was his fucking book publisher. Or
No.
whatever.
Oh.
no, he has two therapists. That's why he's like, are you seeing another therapist? And he's like, no,
But I
I'm
thought-
not seeing another therapist.
But doesn't this dude talk to him like he is his book publisher?
That's what he's like.
Yeah.
That's like the avenue that he takes to try and like
Oh.
analyze him. He's like, so how is the book coming?
Oh,
I can
okay.
give you stuff to help you focus. And yeah, no, he's very concerned about him seeing a
And his
difference.
glasses.
They're also the the psychiatrists are married in real life, by the way.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
really?
That's not surprising.
You know, yeah,
that's
it does make
cute.
sense.
Yeah, if you're watching the stream, his glasses are literally.
Yeah.
Maybe TJ can do a digital zoom here, but
It-
they're
It looks like he doesn't
all
have
the way down here.
Yeah.
All the way down here.
He doesn't have like he's like about ready to jump into a pool and he didn't have the little things that plug
he's
over the
plugging-
nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if they would have just done like a different angle where it looks like he's typing on one of the other laptops, it would give like more validity to the need of having different laptops.
Yeah.
He only ever touches that laptop.
And they could hide it so that you can't always see that it's not on.
Right.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, is that like since he's like the director and all that, I feel like in these scenes where it's just him at his desk, I wouldn't be surprised if
He just set
it's
it
like,
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like no different than like we would shoot something. Like
Yeah.
he
Right.
just has a tripod, he sets it up, and probably just doesn't even watch the takes. He probably like stops recording and then he was like, "Yeah, that felt
That was
good."
pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nailed
this
it.
coffee, this was like the only take because like
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's probably not gonna spend time cleaning
it up and then
Right.
doing another one. That I mean, that's clean though. When he gets hit by the car, it's pretty
It's
clean.
pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, then he licks his lips before he takes a drink, and then the coffee just spills. I will say, he's kind of a trooper, because I feel like most like egocentric, like crazy auteur directors wouldn't like cover themselves in blood and shit and just like gross stuff. You know, if they're using the same fake blood that we've used in the past, that sucks.
Yeah.
Having that matted in your hair and your face. He like spills coffee on himself. Like, I'll give him credit there. You know, he's at
Yeah.
least, you know,
True.
kind of taking his lumps like everyone else in the movie.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's
Give
the
him that.
one scene, yeah, it's where his friend dies, where he's like, I can't help you out of this one, Jim.
Yeah,
and
he's
he's
got it
just like
all over.
intentionally wiping it on him.
I can't believe you committed suicide. I cannot believe you committed suicide. How could you have done this? How could you have committed suicide? I can't help you out of this one, Jim.
It's
Yeah.
probably because, you know, like in the room, I feel like that those are the two most like the best, easiest ones to like compare because they're so similar. Like in the room,
I like that he has like two Ferrari flags right next. It's the exact same
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
One on top of the
yeah,
other.
he's got it, yeah. But shit, what was I saying?
We should do more episodes with the movie playing
Yeah.
in the background.
Oh yeah, like it almost like has that thing of like that is part of him being like self-absorbed, like this is how much of a pro I am, like kind of like Tommy thought he was such a great actor and he's like, you're tearing me apart, and he does that
Yeah.
all dramatic
Yeah.
thing and he like humps the dress and shoots himself. It's kind of this thing, it kind of almost seems like, yeah, like, oh, look at how great he
That'd
is.
be funny.
He
So like he's comparing like what he does in this movie to like Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like going through all that
Right.
stuff.
He thinks
Okay,
it looks
also,
really
we're at
good.
the scene where they all come over for dinner. There's nothing on their plates. The plate of bread is not on the table.
Oh.
So there's like, yeah, the B plot, I suppose, is that Jim, his best friend, is an alcoholic, and he keeps like spilling shit all over the place. And I think there's a scene. Does he spill the beer on the bread? Oh, you're
Yeah,
doing
it's
the
right
Neil
here.
Breen like.
Yeah, he spills it like right now. He's about to spill it.
Yeah, and then they're at dinner, but there's no dinner anywhere. Yeah, and
There's
they're all
just grapes in
drinking
the
their Bud
center.
Lights. I like
well,
how
no, she said dinner will be ready. in,
That's
like,
true.
50
Oh,
minutes
that's
or whatever.
okay.
So
she literally just said it, I think.
All right. No plot hole there.
I think the C plot is
I can't
global
wait
warming
for
because
dinner.
everybody is so
So
fucking sweaty this
Yeah.
entire movie.
Well, I know he's based out of Las Vegas, so that's
Okay.
Las
Yeah, there it
Vegas.
is.
Well,
Yeah,
turn the
there you
AC on, bud.
Yeah. And he's just like, whoa.
Oh, wild and crazy guy.
go. Can I get some wine, please?
Also, it's funny that like, you know, they don't want to do product placement for like all the beer cans and bottles, like the labels are facing away.
Right,
Like it's obviously
yeah.
a Bud Light.
Yeah.
Right.
But like they have it facing away. But like literally the scene just before this, there's like 6 Ferrari logos
Yeah.
Yeah.
all over the place, just plastered.
Maybe he's friends with Enzo. I
Yeah.
don't know.
And then Meadow Soprano gets up and leaves.
Yeah, speaking of, I was gonna mention what during that scene in the garage that like I just thought that I thought of it first when they were in the garage and then kind of like when you like walk when they're like going around the house. It's not necessarily like a specific set like this, but like the garage and then kind of just like the general house scenes look like Phasmophobia houses.
Oh yeah.
They
Kinda.
do.
He's like, it's weird because the whole
He's hacking into government secrets.
I'm going to continue hacking into these government systems to see what I can find out about all this national and international corruption I know is going on.
okay. That's what I was just gonna say. It's like it seems like he's like frustrated the whole time. He's like acting like he's frustrated that he can't come up with ideas for his book, even though most of the time you see him with the books in his hand and he's like looking at the books, unless it's some like kind of national treasure style thing where he every fifth letter it spells out a code or something. But like, or is that like it? Because he was just like throwing papers and stuff. Is that where he's like, okay, fuck this, I'm just gonna hack the government systems?
He's reading a Bob Woodward book though.
Yeah, that's
and Bob
true.
Woodward is known for exposing some government secrets.
What was it called? The War Within or something like
Yeah,
that?
I think
yeah,
so.
yeah.
I think that was it.
Whatever
Yeah,
book
does
he
he-
wrote in 2008.
Yeah, like he doesn't even. It's like he took the dust jacket off to make it look more nondescript, so you
Right.
think that it's his books. But then you just straight up see Bob Woodward's name on the side of it later
Maybe that's
on.
his pen name. Maybe that's his.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because he doesn't want people to like be able to connect to him that
Right.
easily.
Right.
But then it's also like there's a scene at the beginning where he signs the inside of like those same 5 books, which makes you think that like, oh, he's like, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's like a thing that authors have to
Yeah.
do sometimes. They have to like sign,
Right.
celebrity signed copies of the books to give out to like bookstores or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But then he just doesn't do anything with them.
Right.
It's just on
Well,
there.
he throws them around.
He throws them around.
laptops.
Yeah.
yeah. And then he sets him up for his
By the way,
his girlfriend to.
Yeah.
There was
Pitch
no
off the
laptop. Now there'll be a laptop.
Yep,
and
I
pills.
noticed that one. Yeah, I
Yeah.
noticed that too.
I didn't catch that the first time around.
I don't know why, but Neil Breen looks like he's actually older than this guy for some reason. When it cuts to him, I'm just like,
Little. I think Neil Breen is 63 now, so this was roughly 10 years ago. So he's like early 50s here.
Wow.
wow.
He
And
must
then,
have been a
yeah.
smoker or something.
It's all that sweating he does.
If he's 50, the actress who
Hard
plays
partier.
like his childhood crush is like probably in her late 30s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's
But
much
they're like
younger.
supposed to be the same age.
Same
Yeah.
exact age.
And when they're children, she looks like she's older. I thought.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
the she was supposed to be 8 when they were kids.
They were both 8. Yeah.
Or they were both 8.
Yeah.
So yeah, say he's 53. So it's been 45 years. It's been 45 years. That lady is not 45 years old in the movie.
No.
The actress.
And
I
like,
mean.
yeah, you pointed
Right.
that out at the very beginning.
Pre-rip shirt.
The car that she drives away in as a child is like
Yeah.
a 2014
Right.
car.
It's a brand new car.
Yeah.
It looked like a lease or something.
Or maybe
Yeah.
that.
Temporary
Maybe
plate.
this is the future.
Oh, they are.
don't
Oh,
know.
I see it now. I see the pre-torn.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
probably came in. He's probably like, I'm gonna give myself a props or a costume credit for this one, and
Right.
he snips the 3
yeah,
things.
that's disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he's-
a new credit, baby.
He submitted that to Oscars.
What's I kind of want to I want to talk about the I had a few things that just like aren't answered.
Mm-hmm.
So we did kind of mention the people, the guys in the suits that like kind of faded in and out of scenes.
Yeah.
There's the gold book on the pedestal.
Yes.
The black
The cube.
bag room, but I think probably you're right about that being the inside of the stone or whatever. So yeah, the gold book on the pedestal, just all like the mushroom in general, like all that stuff.
It's just
and
magic.
then
Just
the
magic.
smoke
Magic
monster. So
the vape monster.
does anybody have
yeah.
any any theories or any like riffs for any of those? Smoke monster, the agent guy, the man in suits.
I
The
think
gold
he was
book,
just a
the
big
mushroom.
fan of the TV show.
That's what I kept thinking of for the smoke monster,
Yeah.
because it seemed, I don't know, it just kind of
It's just
reminiscent of that.
and like when we say smoke monster, we really mean whatever Adobe like
Yeah.
stock effect, like smoke effect because it's in the same position on the screen every single time.
Yeah.
And it like hard cuts out. It never like fades out. It's just
Yeah.
like it's gone.
Just
Yeah.
That's the end of the animation.
Okay.
My only thing is that they are some kind of like omnipotent, like, or maybe, spiritual, or
spirit
just like,
guides or something.
right, or just
something
like
that.
like super knowledgeable. Like his shirt's pretty ripped too. Look,
Yeah, it is.
Huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, this is the big
Well,
scene
here
where
it
she's,
is.
what does she
Right.
say? I don't want to talk about it
I'll
anymore.
get that
Right.
laptop out of here and that one too.
And then he just shoves all of his laptops on the ground, starts throwing the papers. Is this the first time we see the scene where, like, instead of showing boobs, they just rip the shirts off
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
above,
Yeah.
like, the
Yeah.
nipple line?
look.
All right, we're pausing it.
I bet you that Lambo or Ferrari, whatever it is his car.
Yeah.
Look at the left side. There's like a
Oh.
of that car.
Oh, I bet it
Oh,
is.
yeah.
I think
I
she's
mean,
probably the best actor in this movie.
Her?
By the way, yeah.
no, I
I
think.
I mean, they were.
I
all
think it had
bad.
to be probably. Probably.
Leah was okay.
Yeah, she was all right too. I'd say they were about
I
even.
mean, no.
For me.
I didn't think I would have to say this, but nobody is good. I will say that.
I would
Nobody is
say
bad.
I think the lead actor for me is or the best actor I should say is the I'm the president of the bank.
Oh.
I resign today as president of the bank.
That's my
No,
dude.
the New Zealand guy at the beginning. He's my
Oh, yeah,
favorite
that
person.
guy.
I love that guy.
It's the Rolls Royce that hit him. I saw it. I'm a witness.
His feet are purple. He must have like diabetes. or
He must have
something.
like blood circulation issues, I think, because his hands were really pink too.
Yeah,
In
he's
that
just-
scene
maybe
with the
maybe
cube.
maybe Tim is the best actor, but that's probably
Jim?
No,
The drunk guy.
no, that's Leah's boyfriend at the pool party.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's unrememberable to me.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like he,
Unmemorable.
he says his line, and it's like okay.
Yeah, that's
that
really
was
the best way
normal.
to determine who's the best actor. Whoever has the least chances
Right.
shitty is
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why the bank guy is so good. He has.
Yeah.
Is this real or is that CG?
This is
I think
That's
it's
real.
real. Yeah, it does look really weird.
Yeah,
but I
his
think it's
hair
just
has
the
kinda
light-
like a
I think it's just the
gray- green.
lighting is like it's just it makes it look so flat.
Yeah, like Neil Breen himself is like a cryptid in the sense that like he just looks green screened wherever
Right.
he
Yeah.
goes and
Yeah.
walks. He just looks unnatural.
Yeah.
So this lady, his other therapist,
mm-hmm.
her eyes are very bloodshot
yeah.
and very squinty.
Yeah, she's faded.
And they just have like foldable chairs. Like,
Yeah.
That's the office.
That
Yeah.
was like the juxtaposition of his first psychotherapist who sits at a 15-foot long table and they sit on opposite ends, and then this where they're clearly just jammed into a corner with folding chairs.
very close together. Their legs are touching. I wonder if
Yeah.
that was
It's like
intentional. Then.
He had to sit sideways so that they wouldn't be like basically copulating.
Yeah.
It's like when
Doing some tantric therapy.
Yeah.
it's like when I think Howard Beale goes to have you guys seen Network?
I know
Sidney
of
movie?
it, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, there's
sounds
just like
familiar.
the scene where he goes to see like the like president of the company that he works for, and it's like super long table. It's Ned and
Yeah.
he's like all lit.
Also, this shit.
Oh yeah.
That is. I feel like Neil kept that in there because he thought it was a cool like idea.
She does pills too.
Yeah,
All
that's what I was
women are
gonna say.
addicted to
Everybody in
pills.
this movie, besides Neil
Besides-
Breen and his
and Leah and his
dream
love
girl,
interest, yeah,
they are all
unhealthy,
right,
Yeah.
or ghosts,
portrayed as
Right.
unhealthy.
or they don't know how to wear glasses.
Yeah,
But they all just drink water out of wine glasses.
Right. they're actually like 100% sober and like don't. They're like
yeah, they're all
anti-alcohol.
like teetotalers.
Yeah,
yeah.
they're
Well-
straight edge.
Well, you're talking about like them shooting everything in the corner. I think you'll also notice for any outside shot other than like I guess at this house or like the pool, whenever anyone is framed outside, it's like from below and
Yeah.
all you see is sky behind them. So
Right.
it's like they probably just went into his backyard and shot
I
all
think
of those
so.
scenes like that.
Yeah.
So that way, like, they didn't have to actually go to any location, because he probably didn't get permission for like a lot of exterior locations,
Right.
except for maybe is this his house?
Yeah, this is
Probably.
probably like the
Yeah.
guest room.
Yeah.
Because it's always you see this like stucco shit
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Like she gets mugged,
Yeah.
by this. I guess that's supposed to be by their house, but and the like the offices, like the signs are clearly just like print sheets of paper stuck in these things. I would assume that that's maybe like his office where he works like
As like a realtor, probably.
right.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know if he owns it or
Yeah.
I would think that if he owned it, he would use it a lot more. Like he would try to utilize other locations than
Yeah,
this. Like we said, this carpet is the same carpet as the hospital.
Yep.
So he is a realtor? You looked that.
Yeah.
that's
In
his
Las
occupation?
Vegas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how.
Okay.
Like, I guess off of his realty business is how he like funded his first movie, and then
And bought a Ferrari.
kind of went from there.
I mean, if he's in Las Vegas,
Lucrative.
it's if you're in like a high,
Yeah.
whatever density area,
Mm-hmm.
people are always going to be buying. You probably don't even have to try that hard,
Yeah.
and you get whatever
Commission
3% commission on $1 million houses. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess props to him for he's got his thing.
Found dreams.
He works,
Mm-hmm.
he makes money, and then he spends it on the dumbest shit ever.
Yep.
That's the thing, and why, like, this, like, mostly like worked for me. Maybe it's because like I've just seen so many people talk about I've seen so many like clips from this movie before, and his other movies. So it's kind of like watching a comedy movie that, like, the trailer has all the best bits in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of like the experience I had. Although there were some scenes that like I hadn't seen anything for before that I was like dying at. Like, probably that dinner scene where they have their friends over was one of my favorite scenes because it was just all these people. It was like 5 different people talking, and they all were bad at talking in different ways. They all had different unique quirks of how they were bad at just speaking regular sentences, and it was really entertaining.
I want you to try this new wine.
I'd love to try your wine.
I'm hungry. I can't wait for dinner.
I've got great family genes, but I'm still in pain.
Can I have some wine, please?
So with that in mind, I do think that like I would have like enjoyed this even more if I wasn't so familiar with, the like, oh, I can't believe you committed suicide. Oh, like I've seen the coffee scene. I know that it's a recurring thing, like the smacking the laptops. I knew like a lot of that stuff.
Okay.
And like the ending, I'd probably seen a clip of him like talking there before, but mostly the ending was new to me too, and that was great. The ending was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got that key thing that like Tommy Wiseau has, that Sam Maravich has.
They've never
That
actually
I
interacted
think-
with a human being.
Well, that I think YK Kim has, where it's just like this, like they all think that they are artists and they're making.
Right.
He probably is like, yeah, this is my Mulholland Drive or something like that. He's like, this is important media right here, and it's really sincere. And the thing that's unique about Neil Breen, at least from what I've heard of other people talking about him, is that like he is like he's made five narrative features and then his retrospective movie, but it's like he hasn't changed.
Yeah.
And like apparently it's not like he's turned like Tommy Wiseau where he's
in on
been
the
in
joke.
other stuff and he's kind of like tongue in cheek. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, haha, I'm bad, right? Neil Breen like doesn't recognize that at all. He still makes stuff as if it's his first movie, and he's like, yeah, no, this is the one. This is the one that's gonna change the world or whatever.
This is my legacy.
Yeah.
That
And
is
yeah.
crazy to me. If he watched this movie after it was done and it was not meant to be satirical in any way, and he was like, yeah, this is good. Let's put it out. Like, there's something wrong with his brain, I feel like.
Well,
like, literally.
I mean, the thing is, though, is that he wrote it. So to him, he knows what he meant when he wrote it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, he knows his own intent. So it's hard. I think it's maybe hard for him to, like, separate that. But also, when we watch our own stuff, we
understand like the subtext and context behind everything.
But we're also like, yeah, this is awesome. How does this not have like thousands of views?
Yeah.
Why does this only have 300
but I feel like
views?
you guys also see how it looks to a viewer who's never seen it before and who doesn't think about it like how you guys.
We're better at it.
Yeah,
but you're way better.
Like I'm not saying we're Neil Breen level.
Yeah.
He looks like a terrible magician.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Tim's pants and shoes.
That's what I'm saying.
This doesn't look like 2016 or whatever year.
He's like a customized character from like Backyard Wrestling or something like that, where you do like ridiculous proportions. Like you make his shoulders really thick but not like wide. His torso pretty skinny, and then you make his hips super wide.
He's got like his elbows or his back and his head sticking out like that, like a turtle.
Hunched.
He's very
over.
I mean, yeah. I'm not gonna rip on his physical shit like you guys are, because I'm not a monster. Maybe he's got scoliosis or something. But
that's why you're
I am gonna
the fucking book.
Yeah. She just carries it along.
That's
Big ass fucking book.
There's nothing else written in that except for that one line.
Right, and it's also as new as it was 45 years ago.
Yeah.
That's the only thing she's written in it too. Was "It's a Magical Day."
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I open it up every day to remind myself to keep going.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you do something like more specific? Like whatever, Dylan plus whatever her name was.
Yeah.
The magical day, and then they like something like unique.
Or
I guess.
just tell the story of why was it magical? What did you do on this day? Oh, there was
Well,
mushroom.
they found
There's
that
nothing
mushroom
else.
with the bullshit.
I
in
made
it.
a bracelet. They wrote nothing about.
Like, why did it have to have
day.
a mushroom? What was the point of there being a mushroom on top of it?
I just realized that reminded me of that's like John. It's like the little thing that
I was thinking that. I almost
yeah.
said that, but it's different because that's not like a magical thing. It's just like something that he
that's
when
true.
he
Yeah,
used
yeah.
to play with.
Yeah.
Like it's a little different. This is definitely 2008 because look at the stitching on those pockets.
I know.
Yeah, very like affliction.
They're
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ed
Eastern
Hardy.
jeans or something.
Well, this is also like speaking of like I guess like the editing and like the production of this. All of the other scenes where there's like multiple people, it's like dead silent, just like dead air. No one speaks like at the same time. But then for some reason for this pool scene, he like added in an ambient track
That's
of
right.
like voices of like party ambience.
Glasses clinking.
Yeah,
and-
glasses. Yeah. And that's like the only time in the entire look. All the labels are facing away too. It's so good. All the labels.
Yeah. You know, the thing is in like a Hollywood
He
movie,
almost
though,
dropped that plate
they
too.
get critiqued for like always showing the labels. So
Yeah.
I don't know what that says about anybody.
Bold.
He's like the only product I
visionary.
endorse is Ferraris.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I own one.
Yeah.
But his
Why did she?
Stink face.
In
I
the
didn't
pool
notice
scene-
she just did that. Like, she's so pissed. Like, they weren't even looking at each other. Dylan and Leah weren't even looking at each other.
Right.
there.
Yeah, and then
They were just
Jim-
both smiling.
Here comes Jim getting handsy with Dylan's wife.
Oh, that's actually Miller Lite.
Oh,
Okay. And then he knocks off.
Everything.
This dude's just a klutz.
Yeah.
No wonder
He's
people
like,
think that he shot himself. She could have staged
That
it like
guy's-
he was cleaning his gun and killed himself.
That guy's like a Max Fleischer cartoon. like the rubber banding animation, like the old style cartoons. That always go
Oh,
like
okay.
this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. Whenever there's any sort of like physical, like dropping things, bumping into things, it's all done in the style of those like late night as seen on TV ads about some convenient product
Yeah.
that'll help stop you from like spilling your entire bowl of Cheetos all over the floor. Like that's how everyone drops things or moves around.
She's got a high belly button.
Yikes.
Okay.
Look how high that belly button is.
Oh,
It's in
okay.
the
I'm not gonna
middle.
rib on her body like you
Mr. Not gonna critique
monsters.
anyone's body.
Well, I'm just saying that's not like a physical. That's not like something that affects her on a daily basis. She just has a high belly button.
Oh my word.
It's different. The other guy might have some like painful back injury. I don't
Maybe
know.
that was
I
part
just
of the
had really
casting
poofy
call.
pants.
Yeah.
He got out his ruler and like measured the belly.
Yeah.
And this is
Oh.
the part. This is where you're trying to see him as like he's such a desirable man.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, because
She's
they
just
always
all
gotta
over
have
him.
that.
Yeah. Everyone wants to have sex with him.
Yeah.
That's like another key aspect
some
of the
reason.
movie.
And
Just
that's
like-
everybody wants to have sex with Tommy Wiseau. Everybody wants YK Kim to be their dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
it's like when you would like daydream as like a kid. You'd daydream of like
Yes.
doing something. Like, oh, this is how if I was a superhero or something, or
This is his fantasy.
or yeah, like you're in high school or whatever, and you're in you're in class with your crush, and you're like daydreaming, like, oh, maybe we could like they'd come over and whatever.
And you see yourself as so cool.
Right, and
in
then
this
everything being like so like perfect,
Mhm.
and like that's how he tries to portray it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I like she didn't call him into the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
he thinks it's his wife. To be fair,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so
but
this
then
is
still like he's like, yeah, you can't. But like he could have just closed the door and just like
Yeah.
let her take a bath.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, so this is like another looking right into the camera too.
Right.
Why does she do that?
I
Why
don't
does she
know.
do that?
it's a very Liv Tyler from Stealing Beauty type thing. She's just staring right down the barrel, like.
Yeah. So that
Seemed
type of shot
intentional.
happens multiple times. So it was her standing next to the bathtub, and her towel drops and hits the ground.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple scenes
That's
where like
how everybody disrupts in this movie.
yeah,
Right.
Neil will be making out with his wife and then Leah, and they both like lift their tank top straps down to their shoulders, and then it cuts to their lower torsos, and both of their shirts drop and hit. It's very like
Right.
cartoonish.
That's the
Right.
only way to remove this tank top is
Right.
yeah.
the opposite
No
way.
pants are ever removed. There's never any.
No.
There's no even like.
Everything in this movie is over the pants.
It's over.
he is so
It's
juvenile,
over the
like-
nipple. Everything is up here.
Yeah.
Nothing ever takes place down here. There's never any like motion to like unbutton pants or anything. It's just like, all right, we got the
That really-
cleavage revealed.
That really is like how a kid would interpret just from seeing like, I don't know, like stuff on TV that like
Yeah.
can't show too much. And
Right.
Like, oh yeah, people like take off their shirts and they kiss.
yeah.
Well, and this guy's probably like still a virgin, and he's still fantasizing about sex. So to him, it's all the boobs. That's all that matters. He doesn't even know anything.
He's like, well, I have a butt, so
yeah. Is this where
Which
Jim
stuff?
dies?
Yes.
yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is. That is coming
Yeah.
up, which means that we're like roughly
What do you think they're drinking?
2
here?
hours into the movie, so we should probably
Maybe
That
apple cider,
actually
so-
looks like it could be wine.
It could be, or just like juice, like white
Yeah.
grape juice or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. A note that I took down that eventually, as the movie goes on, it like another one of my favorite like parts of the movie is that like just because of the repetition of the scenes and the locations, it's like every time it cut back to him at his desk, it was like a punchline. Like we're back
Right.
here doing this again.
That's why when you said the thing about you'd seen the trailer, so it seemed like you'd seen all the best parts. I was like, yeah, but there's only like 4 scenes in the movie, and just rinse, wash, rinse, repeat. So like, how do you know? Like,
well, okay. I mean, I think I don't think him like just needlessly trashing things is unique to this movie. But I meant more like
It doesn't seem like it's unique
I
to
can't
one
believe you
scene.
committed suicide. I can't believe
Yeah.
you've done this. Like that's a really popular one. I've seen the scene where he gets hit by the car before.
I'm gonna shoot this car full of holes. And
Right.
And then she just shoots
Yeah.
him somewhere
in the neck,
and then it's in the neck. Yeah, that you see
shot.
later.
He's very Tommy Wiseau, I feel like, in this scene.
I'm gonna shoot this damn car out full of holes!
No, no, no!
Jim! Amy!
You killed him.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Neil
yeah.
Breen.
No, it's very.
People
Sometimes he's
materialize
just
out of
like
nowhere too.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
They
You
do look like they
killed
could be
him.
related though.
They do kind of. I mean, they could be. Like we said, it could just be like his people he sold houses to. Like this is a mother and daughter.
Might be aunt.
Or
I didn't
or
see
that.
any other matching names besides that.
Oh.
Therapist. Maybe.
Yeah, I was looking for that kind of
Gotcha.
like, maybe like he's kind of like a cult leader,
Yeah.
like
yeah,
a filmmaking cult leader.
Yeah.
maybe. So
Her
okay,
handprints are
that's
all over
I
it.
did
That's
wanna
all you
see
have to
this-
do.
Yeah,
To stage a murder.
that's because I
Or
missed
suicide.
that before. Yeah, now there's the blood because I wasn't sure if it actually showed her like what did she do to actually like stage the suicide. And it's literally just
Yeah,
and then she's there.
I mean, I guess it's her husband, so like her fingerprints could be on the gun, anyways. But like,
Bloop.
Does that make sense where the bullet hole is and how
For
she
suicide.
would have shot him?
no.
For
That
suicide.
angle.
Yeah, if you're gonna kill
Think of
yourself,
that.
you don't shoot yourself like.
Well,
you
no, but
don't- I
even the
don't
way
know.
she
was,
shot
he
him.
was like this. She would because I'm assuming he was facing her when he was like, no, don't.
Yeah.
So
And
if
it
anything, it would have like grazed his neck,
I mean,
unless
that
it
could have
went
been
in the
the-
front. Yeah.
And came
Yeah,
out the back,
or
but
it
then
came
why
out-
is
Like, yeah.
yeah?
Oh shoot!
I
Sorry.
can't believe you committed suicide.
I ate barbecue barbecue wings earlier. I gotta wait.
Can't
Also-
help you out of this one, Jim.
Yeah. Also, maybe it's a
I
nitpick.
love all those like pauses and looks away where he's like,
Remembering his lines.
yeah,
Yeah. Also, like Jim is working on, he's doing whatever on his car, and maybe this is like a normal thing that you do when you work on your car. But he's got like the mats underneath him, and it's like, oh yeah, he knows he's gonna be covered in fake blood. So
Right.
Neil Breen doesn't
Right.
want any fake blood on his garage floor.
Yeah.
Right.
So he made sure to shoot it with these two mats underneath him.
yeah.
And then,
And then
yeah,
he's just
he committed
right
suicide.
back to.
What? It's cut right back to his desk,
I
looking at his
can't
Bob
believe
Woodward book.
Jim would kill himself.
Right on the keyboard, which on the computer that we're assuming is on.
Right.
Yeah.
None of these
Not gonna
computers are
hit
plugged
anything.
in. None of the screens are on.
Yeah. I was trying to do a count. There's 4 books in the back behind his head. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's at least 8 books.
I think there's 3 in the front there.
What? There's 1, 2,
No,
3.
there's 3.
1, 2.
Look
3,
to the
4.
left of the third.
Oh, sure. So there's
Yeah.
5 up front. Okay. So at least 9 books.
Oh, there's one right there too, behind him that's open.
Oh,
right
yeah.
in the middle.
Right. Damn.
Oh, yeah.
This dude went hard.
Damn.
That's so, oh.
And then it just cuts to
It's
stuff.
cuts
and
to
you're
him
so
sitting naked
jarring.
inside his little cube,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which again is never really. I guess it's like what they've been cosmically linked in this cube.
Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to I keep like in my head I'm trying to like go back and I'm just trying to string together anything.
I
So,
feel
yeah,
like
this-
it's maybe like a Bill and Ted's type thing where it's like there's this, maybe they're from the future or whatever, and they have like the book is like the book of history. It's like this old book where all of history is stored, and he like opens it and he can read the whatever.
If the crystal thingy gives him these psychic powers and lets him teleport and stuff, and like you see that like the other guys, the suit guys teleport in like the same exact way that he does. So maybe they're just like passing on their abilities. So yeah, they could, I mean, that's the thing is like, it could be anything. They could be from the future, like you said.
Yeah.
They could also be ghosts because like the ghost therapist lady was like kind of on their side or whatever.
Right.
They could just be like a a
Aliens.
cult or like a secret organization of like psychic users, or they could be, like gods or like angels or something like that. It could literally be anything, any explanation, and any of it would make equal amounts of sense.
Yeah, I don't think he had a specific idea. I think he was just like,
no.
oh, supernatural.
I also
That was
could
his
be.
idea.
I think at the end he says like all the answers, all the stuff that will get these corrupt bastards is on this black cube. So it's also a storage device of some kind.
That he found 45 years ago.
Right. And he's only now acting on.
Well, and that's the other thing is you see him get the cube out of the thing at the beginning of the movie, and then like he's an adult, and then he gets hit by the car, and then the lady comes by and gives it to him, and then like he goes back out there, and then he drops the cube off in the little tin. And then he has it again. Yeah. Like, what the fuck is going on with that shit?
It follows.
I suppose, I don't know.
He can't escape it.
It's like, yeah.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. He doesn't like the responsibility. That's why he's like so frustrated all the time when he's slamming his computers. He's like, I don't want to do this. And then, it's just like it's a burden that he can't like
get rid of,
because it's the same thing. Like he's sleeping in bed with Leah, and then I think like maybe the guy, the shiny black shoes guy that we never see.
Yeah,
maybe he's doing something in the hallway, but then all of a sudden he's like
bleeding from his head. I forgot about that.
Or there's blood dripping on the shoes.
Yeah,
but then he's just like, I have to. Oh shit!
I have to go away.
I have to go, and he just goes into the desert for some reason to a very specific location, and he talks to the guys for like 1 second.
Should I be afraid?
That's probably him, right? The shiny shoes guy. That's from when he got hit by the car.
I was wondering if because it never shows their top part of them, the face.
Sure.
Right.
But so I was expecting it was going to pan up and it was like this revealing, it's actually him, but it never did that.
Right.
Yeah, there was a couple. I had something else too that was like similar where I was like, this is obviously. I think it's not exactly the same, but like the way that final scene is like set up is like because he keeps saying, I have all the stuff. I'm about to leak the information. It's all right here. Like I'm like making it kind of clear that like if he were stopped in that instant, it wouldn't get out. Like he didn't back up his files or anything like that.
He didn't upload it to Google Drive.
Yeah. He's just like, I have it all here. And like you're naturally thinking he's going to die. Somebody's going to kill him. He's going to become like a martyr.
Yeah.
But they're going to like stop the secret. But then it like doesn't happen. There's like the sniper and I'm like, okay, yeah, here it comes. Obviously this is going to happen. And then do you guys again, it could just be speculation, but what the Wikipedia says happens there. Do you guys have a guess what happened there with the
press conference and the crosshair on Breen? And
I have a guess here.
There's a sniper. Yeah, you see the crosshair on Neil Breen.
Yeah.
The sniper is about to shoot him. You hear a gun go off. And then
you think it's
Neil Breen doesn't react at all.
Yeah. He like kind of glances, but then that's it.
It was one of the spirit things, I'm going to guess. And you know how they can like go through walls? Like somehow they took the bullet that was shot and they like moved it and it hit the shooter.
No, my theory is that like because as he's like as soon as he says like there's corruption, everybody's just like applauding the whole time instead of acting shocked at all. I think it was somebody in like the press corps or the people who were watching who were like, no, we can't let them stop he's on a mission, we can't let them stop him. So it was somebody in like the crowd that shot him.
Maybe all the people in the crowd were actually corruption fans.
Right.
Yeah. Government corruption.
Oh, that's sick. I didn't even think of that style of corruption.
I love greed.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, I'll read it.
Yeah.
Also, the sentence before, which is like not related to that, but I think is really funny how it's worded. It says, various congresspeople and corporate executives react to the speech by committing mass suicide to applause from the audience. Okay, and then for that, a camouflage sniper attempts to assassinate him, only for Dylan to kill him by reflecting the bullet using his psychic powers.
Didn't get that at all.
Kelly was the closest, though. You were fairly close.
Yeah,
kind of.
I think the ending is probably one of the greatest. It's so good. All of the
it's up there with like Harvey, Paddington 2. Those top endings.
Yeah, I just love that like all it took was this one guy, this one weird looking guy, to be like, there's corruption everywhere, And then everyone's just like, I'm the president of the bank, and he's right. And I'm going to kill myself.
Right.
And then everyone just kills themselves.
Instead of like using what has actually happened throughout history, and the people, the rich, powerful, corrupt people have just used their money to like circumvent.
Sort of,
Yeah.
Okay, I have something I just noticed from watching it this time. Okay. His ghost therapist room number was 2323.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the card, when Leah gets kidnapped at the end, it says number, I'm
23.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
23.
Yeah. It's like the Jim Carrey movie.
Weird supernatural element. He's just throwing anything supernatural in there. That
Right.
you can think of. Oh, yeah, this is a supernatural thing. Put that
I also got to say, at the end, Neil Breen's right.
Yeah.
He's right about all, but it's funny how vague he is about everything.
Yeah.
There's corruption in the corporation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm the president of bank.
it's basically Fight Club if you think about it. He's taking down the whole system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just think of like when the guy, as soon as the guy's like, I'm the president of the bank, and then the gun comes in the screen, like the Pixies comes up, and it's like, where is my mind? And I love how they were like, the first guy shoots himself by holding the gun. Like, I don't know if anybody throughout like recorded history has ever shot themselves in the head by like holding the gun
at a distance,
like a foot away from their head.
Yeah.
But
the one
guy
the
does
other
it
one
like an
this.
angle, right?
Yeah.
And
like
I think that he probably told them to do that so that because he had that gunshot thing,
Yeah.
it wouldn't look right if they had it like right up to their head.
Oh, sure, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like the only thing I can like picture.
My
The
Adobe
fucking-
asset flare won't work that way.
Right.
The comedic timing of those cutaways too, like the instant they fire, like it doesn't even finish the sound effect
Yeah.
and it cuts away.
And everybody's like cheering.
Yeah.
Woo!
It would have been better if they would have just like pretended and then the gunshot. Like, why didn't
Yeah.
that
Or
bad
just it
looking
cuts.
flash?
Yeah, it cuts and then you hear the gunshot.
Yeah, that too.
Okay, and
Anyway.
how is that supposed to be like happening?
I cannot believe we're almost done with this fucking movie again.
It
is
does seem to be
flying this
going.
time.
Yeah, it really is. Because like he's doing a speech, and then they're like, it's the same exact background for them. So it's like, are they like standing in a group behind him, like
Yeah.
listening to him, and they're like, oh my god, I can't do this.
Yeah, he
And they
called
just
a
have
press
guns.
conference.
As
Yeah.
it's- and then like the one person just
Yeah, they
goes to their
have guns.
car,
They
goes to
have
their
guns.
garage and
Yeah, the senators and Congress
Poisons
people,
themselves.
and bank owners just constantly have guns on them.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
have to because they're corrupt, I guess.
Right.
But the
okay.
way that they talk, it's like they're doing like speeches, like they're like, "This is me. My company is corrupt and blah
Yeah.
blah blah." So it's like they like went up to the mic after them and they're like, "Okay, here's my turn. Yeah, I'm really sorry for what I did."
Right.
Yeah.
It's like that one. Was he like a congressman or a representative or something that shot himself on live
Talking
TV?
about
Bud Dwyer.
Bud Dwyer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, then we get a couple other creative
Yes, I guess
ones.
it's not totally.
There's a cutaway to like the fattest guy who hangs himself with the tiniest rope.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the one woman like basically gets in her car and like rolls the windows up and pushes the gas pedal
Mm-hmm.
in her garage.
Right.
And then the guy who takes pills, like Jesus, he can think of like 3 ways for people to kill themselves in
Well,
this
then
movie.
there was the guy who
slit his
in the
wrist,
tub,
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's that.
yeah.
But I just mean like his all these people popping pills. His girlfriend dies from taking pills, and then that bad guy dies from taking pills too.
Neil Breen is the angel of death in this movie.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
that comes
Yeah.
near him just dies.
I mean, yeah. To be fair, there's like a few common ways killing themselves. It would also be kind of weird if they all kill themselves in different ways.
Yeah, like no one's gonna go swim out in the ocean and drown. Like if there's pills, they
Right,
yeah,
or a gun,
right.
they want to do it the easiest.
Well, we've seen how well he
Experience
does with jumping on buildings. So like he could have
Yeah.
easily done some
Yeah.
of that. Like
Yeah.
jumps off the building and then there's just like the stock explosion when they hit
Right.
the ground.
It would have been great if every single one of them shot themselves.
Yeah.
in the
I
head.
know. That's what I was. Yeah. That's what it seemed like. Because I think the one guy shot himself, and then there was a hanging, and then the other guy shot himself. So I was like, yeah, there's just gonna be a pile of bodies.
Everybody takes their pills like this. Like they make it so obvious that they're not actually putting them in. They take the pills, and then they go like this, so they can just drop them between their legs.
Just get like fucking vitamins or something.
Right,
Eat some Smarties. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, for real.
That's time, by the way.
Okay.
That didn't really feel like an ending to the. But
no,
I
it
mean,
didn't. I'm just
really,
saying that's time. So.
I mean, at the same time, like I don't know what else to say.
No,
but that did feel like a kind of abrupt ending.
Okay, so this time they don't have the. Okay, it seemed like every other time they open the bottle, they dump some pills in their hand, recap it, and then set it gently down. It's like
I'm pretty sure with that one it was the last. It was like I mean I don't know if that would make a difference, but I think that was the last. The
last time they had to use the bottle. This is like the last.
I was gonna point when we were talking about like all the disrobing and like all that. Like her shoulder strap is down.
Fast.
Yeah,
she dies so.
She's drunk.
Yeah.
They're like I'm taking these pills,
and it's so peaceful too.
It's so weird to pair her death with this. It's so strange.
No.
I mean, I just think
she does not want to be kissed.
Yeah.
It's literally
she does not.
like he's like, okay, I want to make it where they're friends as kids, and then they're separated, and then they reunite.
I can't even.
He's like, that's the end. But he's like, he's seen other movies, so he's like, okay, well, they meet other people in the meantime because like that's what normally happens. But then they are literally just roadblocks to this because she shows up and she's like, oh, here's Tim, my boyfriend. You never see him again. And she's like, oh, I broke up with Tim. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I have a girlfriend. And she's like, mostly okay. But then like sometimes she's mad because I'm busy a lot. And then she kills herself. And like, okay, cool. Now we can be together. Like, they're literally just like obstacles.
I really don't think that he knows how to crop. And I think that it was supposed to look like her shirt was like
but then
down.
they do that.
Yeah. Then they do that to fully take them off. But like
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be like because
it could be.
What is the purpose of that? Just like I can see your bare shoulders now.
And he's back home.
I can't believe after 4 or 5 movies, like no one is helping him to be better at movie making. He's not taking any critiques.
I think he's very confident.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I don't need help.
Crazy
Obviously.
to me. It's crazy.
I almost don't think it's almost like he doesn't care.
How do you not learn?
Or he doesn't care. Yeah.
He's got his vision.
Yeah, he just like I like doing it this way.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Can't
It's
blame
so
him.
bad. It's so bad. Ugh.
Not to him.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Can't help you out of this one.
I want to meet this man in real life and see what
I
he is
don't.
like. I do.
I want to buy a house from him.
He
No.
is.
What if, like, as a realtor, he's like the most normal dude?
Yeah.
I bet
Yeah.
he's creepy. In
No,
real
he
life.
seems creepy because
I bet he's creepy.
like sometimes it seems like he wrote this movie so that he could have these interactions with women and maybe like get them to kind of fall in love with him or something because it's almost what it seems like with Leah the first time. You can tell she's really trying not to kiss him, but then like it was kind of like, oh, we'll do this scene and like just be, like you're supposed to be in the moment when you're acting. So like maybe she just was like, okay, this is for my reel. I just have to like, it's gonna look bad if I don't. She just was like in the moment and just like, because then she kind of does kiss him, but it's like, it's so awkward.
He's just gonna not stop making movies until he finds the one.
Right.
And it's gonna be an actress.
Yeah.
Until his
That'd be
fantasy becomes
fantastic.
reality.
Yeah.
Until he gets Eric
I'm
Roberts.
kind of taking back what I said. I do kind of feel sorry for him now. Maybe he's not creepy. Maybe he's just like
Misunderstood.
If only-
misguided.
If only this is what all like incels did instead of like post misogynistic
yeah.
like, shit online. They just
make
made movies like this.
This is the healthy outlet for you.
Yeah. It's
See,
like
that's
most,
not Leah either. That's not the
No,
actress.
it's
Yeah,
that
so
plays
dark. It's
Leah.
way darker.
I
That's
think
what
I
was
think it's the other girl.
the daughter.
No,
the
the-
mom of the daughter.
that's kind of what I was thinking too.
But
I think her
hair is
boobs are bigger.
lighter, too.
Maybe,
Yeah, she's the only one he could get it to agree to all the massive.
Yeah,
amounts
it might
of
have been
side
a
boob.
completely different actress. It's like
I don't want my face.
Don't
in
show
this.
my face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could have been.
Yeah, it was her.
Yeah.
It's like The Shining.
The woman in room 237.
Yeah.
2-3.
Well, that's what Neil
23,
looks
28.
like.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks like the guy in the dog man. Actually, he kind of looks like a Wahlberg.
A little bit.
A little bit.
All right.
That was a better ending.
Speaking of commercial,
No, we got to give
products-
our ratings.
Oh, I thought we went to the. Oh yeah, we do the ratings for
We do duds.
Yeah.
Or spuds or duds.
Duds or spuds?
So
Guests want to go first?
yeah, was this a spud or a dud? Dud or a spud?
Oh my word, this is hard to say because like it is a terrible movie, but it's like The Room. Like it's funny. I would
Yeah.
watch it again, like drinking with you guys, and it.
Yeah, a little bit.
You got to eat it.
Yeah, you got to eat
Oh,
it.
okay.
Like
Yeah, I
like
thought it
him,
was really
like Neil
funny.
Breen right now.
I was enjoying watching
Eat that
it.
spinach.
Fucking staring at. I didn't
Sorry,
notice before. He takes a bite and then he goes.
Yeah.
He's eating a plate of spinach.
It's a
Am I-
plate
am
of
I
He sets it
doing
on
it
top
right?
of
Am I-
folders.
This is the first time you've seen him eat, and he's like, "Am I doing this right? Am I eating correctly?"
He's like, what? It's like their playful banter.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
You're
is supposed
so
to be
goofy.
like, oh, life in paradise. Look at us. This is what people do.
And then
Oh.
I
when
you
they're
know,
happy.
I
Crazy
wonder
guy that I
if
love.
we were saying like, why is he wiping the? He does that a lot. Like he was just talking to her, and he just went like,
In this scene, I
in the
noticed
middle
that.
of his-
Yeah.
his
I think he
line.
just did a line or something.
He's
'cause
doing
he
bumps.
He
He
keeps
was
like
like
touching
this.
his nose.
and then he
Mhm.
was like doing this. So yeah, maybe he just touched his face. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
anyways,
Okay,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Anyways, it was a dud, I would say, but a spudly dud.
Spudly
That
dud.
doesn't make sense.
All right. Well,
Spudly
it was it was a dud I would watch again. It was frustrating
That's a spud.
because
That's a
is
okay.
that what
Yeah, like
classifies it? Okay.
right. Like
Okay.
these the spud versus dud is a little more like loose. Like
Spud doesn't mean
you're
it
not
was a
necessarily
good
saying that it's like a
movie.
good movie,
Right.
but if it was entertaining.
Okay.
I think that's what spud versus dud is like different than like our good movie scale, where that's like you're kind of just doing everything. Like obviously, is it entertaining, but also like is it a good movie? Is it well made? I think like all that technical stuff, you just don't even. It's just dud and spud is just like, did you have a fun time?
A dud is
Yeah.
something
Pretty
like
much.
Bedeviled or Megan is Missing.
Yeah,
where
like,
it's
just-
devoid of any sort of
can't
like,
watch
entertainment
it.
and
It's like one of those potatoes
Yeah.
you grab out of the bag, and it's got like a lot of those like brown spots on it. You got to like cut those off,
Okay,
but otherwise you
Okay.
can still use it.
yeah.
I mean, you say you would watch it again. You are watching it again right
We are
now.
watching
We're watching.
But I would watch
Apparently.
it like and doing nothing else
Right.
again.
No, I couldn't do that. I couldn't just sit down like we just did and not like have some kind of distraction for at least part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should watch it with Isaiah. He would laugh at it.
Oh, Isaiah would
Probably.
like, this is so stupid.
He
It'd be a
did
good
watch.
time.
What was the movie that he watched? Oh, he watched Pumpkin. Yeah, he's seen Pumpkin. That was the one that he
Yeah.
liked Pumpkin.
So spud.
Yes.
Okay. Do we want to just go down the line?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like barely a spud.
Okay.
It almost hurts me to like it. It's like if I say dud, I'm gonna be upset, and if I say spud, I'm gonna be upset. Just for multiple. Yeah, trailer number 23.
Oh.
It's just I don't know.
What the hell?
Just I guess it seems like at this point, rewatching it, it seems like it's not just that wash, rinse, repeat as much as it did the first time. It felt like we just saw those 3 locations for the first 45 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and we couldn't get out of that hell.
That's kind of what the room's like too, when you think about it.
A little bit, but at least there's like, that's the thing is the room is like it's a better movie. It's like it's maybe
Think so.
not the
That's
production wise.
That's because he had some like actual people working on it. Like the cinematographer or something is like an actually like at least I don't know if
Right.
there's more, but like a pretty well respected like
I mean,
dude in Hollywood.
As far as like production wise, I would say they're fairly similar. This is, I guess, primarily like tripods and stuff. Maybe, but
I just mean that like as much creative control as Tommy Wiseau did have in the room, he did have some people there
Right,
to like
right.
influence him. Whereas Neil Breen, I think, doesn't have anybody. This is the most like most singular you can make a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. It's the Room is like more for how incoherent it is.
Right.
It is like by multiple factors more coherent than this movie.
Yeah, at least it's telling a simpler story too.
Right.
Like
right. Like, oh, this guy's drunk. That's why. Okay, there are beer bottles there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh yeah, I
what-
saw that.
Did you see what kind of shoes were those that she was wearing?
What were they?
Pumas.
Nice.
So
Yeah, he tried to do way too much, I think, in this movie. Too many
Yeah.
different plot lines going on at once.
Yeah.
Something.
So are you at Spud?
sure.
Okay. Okay.
Undefined, I guess. Yeah.
I am a full-throated Spud right now. I think this is like everything. I agree with what you said about The Room being more coherent. It's a different type of coherent where nothing is coherent,
Yeah.
but that's more coherent.
He's got a huge wedgie right there.
This
Like the sea-doos right there too.
yeah, this is like a baffling movie where it's like entirely non sequiturs and people jumping to conclusions that otherwise make no sense. Like where his wife is just like, "You're seeing another woman, aren't you?"
I forgot about
Right.
that. Yeah.
What? Where did that even come from? Yeah, the ski-doos. That's great.
His wedgie.
His ass is eating those pants.
Yeah.
Okay, and the therapist was like, "You're seeing another therapist," and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
the other therapist was
Everybody's so concerned
not real.
about.
So what if Leah's not real?
Yeah.
And
no,
she goes through the
Oh.
wall here too. I don't know.
But yeah, no, this is I want to see all of his movies. I want to see the Breen cinematic universe. I'm committed. I think these are great.
Yeah.
Maybe we turn it into a drinking game next time or
Right.
yeah, it's definitely one that like you got to watch with people. But yeah, no, I'm sitting at a Spud. This is great.
I would agree. I think yeah, it's not terrible. I think part of it is that we had to pay $15 to
Also
watch
that.
this thing. That is
Yeah.
cruel.
$15 you're not getting back.
Right.
Yeah, I'm I'm a Spud. Like I said, I wasn't over the moon like I've heard a lot of people are, but I will give the movie the benefit of me having seen a lot of it before, I guess. If I had went into this completely blind, I think I would be a lot more
As
like
blind as Leah when she goes to the trailer door.
yeah. I think I would have had more of those laugh out loud moments because, like I said before, a lot of the scenes I hadn't seen anything from before were really funny. I think I do agree with Travis that it does feel pretty repetitive, and yeah, watching it as we're talking, it didn't seem quite as bad, but still, it's weird that nothing really happens until except for him getting together with. See, the friend died 20-30 minutes ago. That's the last scene you saw of any of these people, and now the daughter is back to hit on him, and then he's like, "No, go to the cops," and that's the only other thing you see on them. What the fuck?
She does a lot of this looking back thing
And
too.
a slow head turn.
Yeah. It's for some reason I think it's because of the delivery of their lines that actually makes it feel slower. Because they're so
Could be. There's so much this is my
hesitation.
line.
Yeah. Well, all the scenes are so elongated.
This is the rest of my line.
Yeah.
And then I don't even think we talked about it in the episode.
Showing her walking away.
Yeah.
But it's but they also repeat all of the lines multiple times.
Right.
Yeah.
I love you. I love you, Leah. I want you to know that I love you, and I'm going to find you. I'm going to find you, Leo. Okay, I'm going to find you.
I promise.
I
Don't
saw
worry.
it. I am a witness.
Yeah.
How he gets out of bed here is
So fucking
He's like
weird.
He's like a King Zora from Zelda. He's like,
Right.
Yeah, I know. It's painful. He's slow.
But that I still do think that it's a little a little too repetitive where like that's what would keep me from like watching it again. But I think if you cut out like 20 minutes from the first like half where again nothing happens, all of the plot except for like the like little scenes where it's like, you know, oh, I'm hacking. Okay, sure, establish that. Nothing fucking happens until he gets together with Leah and the other girl dies or whatever. The friends literally don't matter at all.
Yeah.
So if you cut like 20 minutes out of that first chunk and you've got like an 80-minute movie, I think like the second half, at least you're getting a variety of things happening.
Yeah.
Different things are happening. I think it'd be like I think it'd be like even stronger. I think it'd be a pretty great Spud type bad movie. But as it is, it's maybe like some Burger King fries that you get a couple like really good ones, but then like, you know, you got a large and you're
Soggy.
like, I don't think I needed to order a large. I probably would have been okay with a medium. Then there's still like a few really good ones. Yeah, and then you get a few that are just like too similar and you're like,
Right.
yeah. Now my mouth is just kind of like pasty.
It needed some zesty sauce.
Yeah. That's it.
If you were to like recut this movie using only the footage that like you have, it would, and you cut out everything that's completely unnecessary, it would be like 15 minutes long.
And this is the thing.
Yeah.
This is the thing is you wouldn't even need to like watch the movie to analyze it. I literally think you could pick a timestamp. Like within the first 50 minutes of the movie, you could pick a timestamp at any of those minute marks, jump ahead 20 minutes without even looking where you stopped it.
Right.
Jump 20 minutes ahead, take it out. It doesn't matter if it's in the middle of a scene, middle of a line. It would be the same. It would not change it at all. It kind of going off what you or like continuing like what you guys were saying is that like I'm not raring to watch this one in particular again, but I really want to see all of his movies.
Right.
Like I definitely am very interested in watching every Neil Breen movie, just not this one again right away.
Yeah.
You know. That's kind of my feeling towards it. I'm glad to have finally seen one after hearing about him for so long.
Hell yeah. Let's get it. Let's get it, Neil.
Okay,
like the way he gets out is like he's actually naked and he's afraid that he's gonna like
he might be.
like he didn't tell her, but like when she was like getting undressed for the scene, he like took off his underwear in the scene.
Because like why wouldn't you just like pull the blanket up and get out of bed?
Yeah.
I think it's him trying to be sneaky, like,
He's
oh, I don't want to wake her up,
you can
but
put
like
that part next to her, hold that, and the rest of it can move.
yeah.
There's nothing that adds to the sneakiness there.
I'm trying not to wake you up, but also I'm just like caressing your face and shit. with
And I'm
my
gonna
mouth.
leave a message too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Like right as I'm in the garage.
He's like banking on her not answering the phone.
Yeah, pretty much. He's not driving safely. He's driving with a finger.
It's like 10 and 2 like this.
He's an amazing driver though, so
Yeah, that's true.
He's an
His
excellent
fingertips are
driver.
so long and so strong. He
He's
doesn't
not-
even have to grip them all the way.
right.
He's not driving what is that, a Pontiac?
No, it's a Mercedes.
Mercedes. God damn it. I always think the Mercedes logo is like different than that. That one just seems too like plain. It's not a Ferrari though.
It's not a Ferrari. Well, that would be too obvious.
Yeah, I suppose so. I guess if they show the outside of the car. Speaking of bad editing, I don't know. Here's our ad break.
Speaking of group suicide.
There you go. Okay.
That was
So
that.
now we're back.
Now we're back.
not going to keep that in.
I was thinking we're back. There might be some good little segments you could.
we were going to watch. We were going to start it, but then we just ended up watching the end of the movie again. So what does that say?
We watched the entire movie.
Here, do you want to
again.
give a timestamp now after the break?
Yeah,
That-
let's give a timestamp now.
It's for like a minute before the movie ends.
Yeah, well, this will be like the uncut Patreon one.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, yeah.
1:37:30. There is 2 minutes and 7 seconds left.
There you go. So It feels weird. Even though this is just the ending and like not much happens here, it feels weird to talk about like anything else while it's going on.
Yeah.
But
I had something, but I can't remember it.
we both had stuff in the thingy, and then Nick brought up the MGM acquisition. I don't know, I'd have to say much about that other than like cool.
More corporations.
Monopolies.
The corporations.
Yeah, there you go. Monopolizing entertainment is cool.
Yeah,
I got.
It seems like, oh yeah, like HBO and Disney are merging or something
Are
too.
they?
I heard.
Are they?
Yeah, I heard that's
doesn't
going to
sound
be the
good.
next push. Is that instead of having a bunch of different services, there's going to be like 3 services that are like 3 or 4 that are just like merged all these different forms.
Yeah, the only thing I'm excited about with Amazon buying MGM is, I mean, I think the aspect of just like one corporation just buying an entire library of other things for like billions of dollars is not a good thing, you know, in general. But hey, maybe finally for some of these movies that we have to watch for the podcast, I won't have to rent it for $4.99 on YouTube or Amazon. Like maybe in acquiring this library, there'll be more actual stuff on there instead of just like what you want to watch. You always have to end up renting or buying. I guess in this case.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's the give and take with Amazon. It's like, yeah, Bezos is a monster, and like it's all of their business practices sucks, and just homogenizing everything sucks. But also it's like, yeah, well, he did it, and it is really convenient. So
what can you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it seems like Prime has like nothing on it. Like there's nothing free on Prime except for, I guess,
not entirely.
Like Prime Originals, I guess, but
I feel like all of them are starting to go that way though. Netflix, I feel like Netflix is almost primarily like Netflix Originals.
Right.
They pump out so many like true crime documentaries. It is insane.
Right.
On Netflix.
At least like I know there was a spell where, you know, when Netflix first started out, and this was back before there was just, you had more variety of like good TV shows. This is back before I like had high-speed internet and had much of a choice other than just like satellite TV. But like Netflix started out hot with like pretty popular, like critically acclaimed shows like Orange is the New Black and House of Cards. And then it kind of like what I think like AMC did, where it started with Mad Men and Breaking Bad, to mega popular.
Even Walking
shows.
Dead, like those early
Even Walking
seasons
Dead
of
was,
Walking Dead.
Yeah, was very praised. But then both of them, Netflix and AMC, just started like, they're like, oh man, we're like the hot new studio. We gotta keep making hits, or else we're gonna, you know, fall by the wayside. But then like there was a period where they just like they just both churned out clunkers.
Yeah.
Like there's not very many good AMC shows past like Breaking Bad and Mad Men, and like none of them are as good as either of those.
None of them last longer than like one season.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
especially with Netflix, they're like notorious for only like caring about shows for like 2 seasons.
Right, until it starts to drop off at all, and then they're just like, they drop it because it's all about, they want their like proprietary like IPs, so that like you have to go to Netflix, because it's like a big thing with Netflix was they had The Office, and then NBC started their own thing, and then they lost The Office, and it's like, okay, well, they, you know, there's a bunch of people I'm sure who have the NBC Peacock or whatever it is just for the like just to watch The Office.
Oh yeah.
So like if you have your own show like that, then people like have to have Netflix. So that's why they just throw darts at the board and whatever sticks, they're like, oh, okay.
And even some of their like duds, I feel like there's a lot of like YouTube channels that make videos on like the bad movies.
It's
and
always
then other
like
people
topical.
watch them too.
Like Netflix is really good at making stuff that people talk about, whether or not it's actually like good. Like a lot of their documentaries, I feel like especially get a lot of traction like Tiger King.
Yeah.
It's like a good example of like I don't know. I only saw it the one time, but like it's hyper popular for like like what it actually is.
Right. And that was also like
just
right
an
when
average
quarantine
documentary
happened too.
Yeah, that too. One of those lucky winners in that lottery.
I didn't even think Tiger King was that good.
No.
I think it was like an average documentary, right? It's like a okay made documentary that's aided by just like a wacky story, you know. But like the filmmaking itself is just like whatever.
Yeah.
It was interesting enough to keep watching it, and everyone saw it, so you could talk about it with
everybody's
like anyone.
talking about it. Yeah, and that's what they do. But
and before that, it was like Making a Murderer and like
which I think is like a better made
Oh,
documentary for sure, like 100%. But yeah, that's another good example of one that just fucking everybody was talking about.
Yeah.
But what I was getting at is that at least Netflix now does have, in my opinion, quite a few good shows under their belt. And movies, I think. But that could just come with them just churning out so much that, like, eventually, you know, they're going to have a few good things in a year. Amazon, too, has, like, a few good movies. Mm-hmm. The way that they do movies, though, it seems different than Netflix. It seems like Amazon, like, just purchases the rights to, like, indie movies after the fact. But it feels more like Netflix, like, fully produces the movies from the jump.
I feel like Netflix has a style. Like you can tell it's a Netflix
that's
movie.
what I mean. That's what I mean. And so I don't know. It's weird to say like, oh yeah, the Amazon movie like Sound of Metal, because that is like an Amazon movie now. But I don't think it was like, you know, initially produced by them. I think they just bought the rights to it pretty much.
Yeah.
There's shows they do like The Boys.
Yeah.
And
Invincible.
And those ones are like produced by them, and those are good. They have at least a couple good shows. Hulu's the only one that I don't know if I've tried a few of their shows. There've been a few that like seem interesting to me, but I feel like Hulu is the one where whenever I see a trailer now, even if it looks good, I'm like, yeah, but it's Hulu. Like they've never had anything
Fresh?
like great.
Yeah, Fresh.
No, I haven't.
Fresh is pretty good.
That's not a show though.
They might have had stuff that's like okay, is what I'm saying, but like nothing that's really wowed me. That they don't have like an Arcane or Klaus or Ozark, or Netflix did Marriage Story. I fucking love Marriage Story.
Yeah.
Like they have some really good movies on there. Hulu has like, I don't know. I watched The Path. That show was fine. I know I've tried out
Didn't
other
Netflix
Hulu
do
stuff.
Roma too? Was that Netflix or was that
Roma?
Like the Alfonso Cuarón movie.
Oh
Right,
yeah, they did. That one was fun.
I don't know. I kind of like how unassuming Hulu is, though. Hulu's like, okay, this is where I go to watch It's Always Sunny in Bob's Burgers.
Yeah,
right.
That is what Hulu has for sure. That's where I go to watch like American Horror Story or
Yeah.
like other trash TV that I like.
Oh,
Masked Singer.
garbage.
Hulu is my garbage dump because that's where I watch the Masked Singer too.
Handmaid's Tale and The Great.
The Great. You guys
Those were
probably. I
good.
don't think you've seen The Great. The Great's pretty good though.
Is it the good?
It's not great.
Oh,
This episode of There Will Be Dust has been brought to you by Netflix,
Hulu.
Hulu, Amazon.
not Hulu so much apparently.
I watched the first
Only-
episode of
only-
The Handmaid's Tale and then
No, that's FX.
just never watched anymore.
Yeah.
of it.
Only Murders in the Building is. I've heard buzz about that.
Yeah, that's true. I have heard buzz about that one.
Does Amazon own Spotify?
I don't know.
Because Spotify owns
Maybe.
Anchor.
Maybe.
So by the if you keep looking up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure eventually we will be. No
Yeah,
matter
yeah.
what.
Pam and
no matter what we
Tommy.
do.
That's like the new big one. How I Met Your Father.
Oh. Yeah, which one's Young Sheldon on? Is that Peacock?
Yeah, I think that's
No,
that's CBS.
It's a CBS
Oh,
one.
okay.
So
Technically, we have Peacock through our internet service.
So do we.
They
yeah.
gave us like the little box thing. I mean, we have Apple TV, so like I don't need another like box to like have a separate remote for, because I've already got 3 remotes as it is.
Right.
But it's like I think if you sign in with your like Xfinity account and like you have the Peacock app, yeah, I think it's functionally the same thing.
Oh, okay.
But it's like that's I think that's also how a lot of these like streaming services get a user base. Is a lot of the times it's like packaged with some sort of internet or TV deal. I think, or like I know for like last year, it's like if you got an iPhone with like a Verizon wireless plan, you got Disney Plus for
Right.
3 months or
That's
a
right.
year or
Yeah,
something like
I
that.
remember a lot of people getting it through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about The Boys trailer? How far are you into The Boys?
I don't think he's progressed since.
I don't think I have actually. I'm on.
Because I
like,
saw
episode
it was like an autoplay episode.
Yeah, it was
4.
like episode 4.
Okay.
I was kind of. I did. No, you didn't even watch the first episode. I was kind of waiting. This whole time I'd been waiting for a time when she wasn't around because I didn't think she would like it based off of the graphic novels. But they kind of cut a lot of the really unnecessary, like gratuitous shit in it.
Yeah.
It's gratuitous in a different way. It's like updated in like good ways because like there's a lot of like edgy stuff in the show.
Right.
But it's not like cringe edgy stuff that's in the
comic book.
I'm gonna tell my dog to fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
there's literally a meteor that a superhero has like a sex addiction because he got like hit in the head or something, and he saves the planet by
like
fucking a meteor.
a meteor.
And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, come on. And
It's
there's
like needless sex stuff.
and it's like, yeah, it's not like they describe it. They like, it's all like, it's the whole thing is you like see like the whole thing basically.
Yeah.
And you like the whole world is watching. He's like, yeah, you like that, yeah. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, not that there's like I enjoy the books for the most part. But yeah, there is a lot of stuff that I just like rolled my eyes at like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, sex is funny.
It's
because we're
Yeah.
comic book nerds and we don't,
Oh yeah, and there's
we're
like
Neil Breen with sex, so we
Right.
don't know what
We
it's
don't
like.
have it.
So
there's a lady in it in the first like book of the omnibus where she's like really small. I forget what her name is, like Little Nikki or something.
The little Russian girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
she pulls out this like vibrator and it's like bigger than her and it's like, good grief, are
Yeah.
you fucking 12 years old?
It's mostly the sex stuff. That's just
Yeah.
like
Well, yeah, and
Come
it's like
on.
that. It's like that thing where, it's like you see a show that is like full of like sex and bad language and violence, and it's like you almost interpret that as being like, oh, this is for distinguished like edgy adults like myself, and like
Yeah.
like it somehow adds like if it's just violence and sex and gore for like its own sake. For like no reason, that doesn't mean it's like a mature adult show for like people with refined tastes or whatever.
I actually think the show is better at what the series and what the comic series is trying to do too, where it's supposed to be like a critique and like spoof of superhero comics for the comic and then shows and movies for the show. Because when the show has other, other things that would make it R-rated, I guess.
Yeah.
There's gratuitous violence.
Yeah.
There's a lot of swears. There's drug use. I'm saying like it's got all the stuff.
Yeah.
But I would say of those, the main focus is the violence. And I think that's a really important when you're trying to like emphasize like, oh, people love just like, violence in media. It's like it attracts people and whatever. Whereas in the comics, when you're doing it to such an extreme degree and like, oh, also all this sex stuff, haha.
Yeah.
It hinders like the actual point of the satire that you're doing when you're just like turning everything into a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the show does a really good job of like Vought as a corporation and their marketing arm, and like that is like the villain. The superheroes themselves, they're like assholes and they kind of do whatever they want and like have no regard for human life. But the real villain is like the marketing firm behind all of them.
Yeah, they're
And I
the
feel
one that made the superheroes. Like that.
and like in the comics, I feel like, and obviously it's like a comic book, so they have to like, if they tried to do what they do in the show in the comic book, I don't think it would be very long. So it's like they have to have these like little side plots and side stories, and like these they go to Russia and do this thing in Russia, and like they do all of that, and it's like it kind of muddles the message, the overall of like the corporation being like the main like shitty thing.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the different media format of comics versus TV, where like TV they can get that message across much more effectively.
Yeah. I think like it's maybe it's harder for the comic to do it properly because TV show, visual media, however you want to like encapsulate all that, TVs and movies are like, they didn't start out as like stuff about superheroes and like that's just a genre of those, whereas comic books are primarily known for being about superheroes. There's other stuff. I know that there is not superhero related comics out there, but that's generally what the general public associates them with, is Marvel and DC superheroes. So it's harder to be like, hey, comics are really dumb, right? Superheroes are really stupid, right? When you are making something that is associated with those, like, like almost always. But with the show, it's like, TV shows aren't always about that. It's like this one isn't. This show doesn't exist because it's a superhero thing, and superhero stuff is all that TV shows are. I said that really weird.
Yeah. You said that like a Neil Breen line.
I think that too.
He's hacking into government files.
I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Yeah. The show's better. Book is good. I would still, like, if you're a fan of the show, I would still suggest reading the book. Yeah. Just know that it's got some of that cringe, edgy, like 2008 humor. It's like whenever I like watch an old like movie that I thought was like way funnier, and they'll make like a gay joke, and I'll be like, man, I used to think that was so funny, but like gay jokes just like aren't funny anymore, because I'm like, oh yeah, I realize now why, like,
for the most part,
for the most part, right? Why that stuff just like isn't clever or funny, or why, like, when as a kid I was like, why didn't people love this movie more? Why was it? It's like, oh, because it's really dumb jokes. Like it there's no substance to them at all. It's just like lol gay.
Yeah,
it's something for middle schoolers to repeat to each other,
right?
Yeah. Like in the lunch room.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking specifically of like Shaun of the Dead, where he's like gay. Like, they're kind of like
it's
it's like an acknowledgement of that they actually like carried for each other and stuff. Like it's not really like a gay joke, I guess.
Brought
but
back at the end too.
Right, that's what I mean.
There's
or it's like done in like a smart it
really all depends
way.
on the writing. Like I think of like the Community thing when Chang is just like, ha, gay. Like it's so dumb and over the top.
Funny,
the joke is that Chang is an idiot.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah. So it's like stuff like that is like, okay, I'll defend like those types of jokes, but just stuff where the punchline is just like, haha, we said a slur.
Yeah.
Or
like, oh, he dressed up like a girl.
We got a big penis.
Don't bend over in the shower.
Like, that kind of shit is like very tiresome.
Yeah. When the punchline is like, because penis or something.
Two boys.
I don't know. You just said because penis and I laughed. So I don't know what that says.
That's true.
Since because penis. It's a SpongeBob line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that episode of SpongeBob.
I wanted to bring up a thing that I started watching recently too. That I kind of want to like show you guys an episode or two. They're really short. They're like 5 minutes long. But it's called, I'd seen clips of it before a couple times. I just never like delved into it. And then I like binge, like I watched like I'm in the second season, but again, these are really short episodes, so it's not a lot. It's called On Cinema at the Cinema. I guess it started out as a podcast, and I thought I would bring it up for this because it's basically like a movie review, like YouTube series / podcast. But I guess when they started the YouTube series, they kind of ended the podcast, so it kind of transitioned into that, with Tim Heidecker. And Greg Turkington, who's Neil Hamburger.
Yeah.
And they're playing like themselves, like they're named their own names, but they're like dumber, like heightened versions of themselves or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like a Siskel and Ebert type, like, we're two movie critics, and these are the two movies that we saw at the theaters that are out, and we're gonna give them a 5-star rating, and we have different opinions. It's very like riffing on that kind of style of thing. But I thought I'd bring it up because I read that like they started the show basically to mock like movie review podcasts and how like stupid they were and stuff. And it's so fucking funny too. Like Tim Heidecker is a master at stumbling over his words. It's so incredible how well he is able to misspeak like all the time. And that's why I kind of want to show you guys when we're done, because like it's hard to explain just how good he is at just like misreading people's names, mispronouncing titles of movies, just getting facts wrong.
Yeah.
And like there's this recurring bit where like they never like 100% establish like what their rating scale is. So Tim Heidecker's like, I give this movie 5 bags of popcorn. And then it goes to Greg, and he's like, I give this one 4 bags of popcorn and 2 bottles of Coke, or 2 bottles of pop. and then he's like, no bottles of pop. It's just popcorn. He's like, well, I like pop too. So, and then like the next one, like Tim's like, I give this one 6 bags of popcorn. And then Greg's like, the max that you can give it is actually 5. So I'm giving this one 5 bags of popcorn. It doesn't go up to 6. It's just 5. So I'm giving it the most that you can give it.
This sort of snippy.
Yeah. They're very like these like little jabs at each other.
Yeah. I'm only aware of it because for like the longest time on my YouTube recommended, it was The Trial of Tim Heidecker.
Yeah, which I was going to bring that up. Yeah, that's like tied into it. So in between like season 9 and 10, I think there's 12 seasons total. I think it's like between 8 or 9 or 9 or 10, there was like this like murder trial for Tim.
Yeah.
And then that led into like a movie.
Yeah.
That's like, it's not about them reviewing movies or anything, but I think it's like his same character from this.
It's like a political campaign.
Yeah, he's campaigning for like governor of California or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I guess like when the next season that happens, he's like not there at the beginning because he was like busy like campaigning or whatever, and then he comes back because like he didn't win or whatever. So there's like this like big like expanded universe around this like dumb like 5-minute movie review show on YouTube.
Yeah, I started watching that movie. It's like Mr. America or something like that.
Called. Yeah,
I never finished it, but it was really funny because it was very Nathan For You.
Yeah, that's kind of what it seems like.
There's like a scene where he's trying to go around and put up his own like posters in businesses.
Mm-hmm.
But he's kind of running like a dirty campaign kind of thing. And so he goes around and he's like trying to kind of shit talk his opponent. And so he has these posters that say, "We have a rat problem."
That's why I know that one. Yeah, because I seen that. That was like came up on like Twitter or something like that. That was like a pretty popular thing.
And so he's putting up these posters as saying like his political opponent is a rat. But the places that he's going to are like restaurants.
That's right.
And so he's getting these restaurants to put up his political campaign posters, but inside the restaurant it just says, "We have a rat problem." That's like the Nathan For You like type of humor.
Yeah.
That makes me think of that.
And then I don't think this is like tied into the universe because this is just a stand-up special, but it does seem like it's like the same kind of character that he's playing in the show. Tim Heidecker's stand-up special from like 2017 or 18, it's called An Evening with Tim Heidecker.
Yeah.
Where he's like, he also just like can't fucking tell a joke to save his life. And like he comes out and it's funny because there's no like transition, no real like intro to this. He just comes out and he's playing this like egocentric, narcissistic, like right-wing comedian.
Yeah.
And just telling terrible fucking jokes to where the humor, like all the jokes that he tells are like the most simple, basic, like knock joke style humor. Yeah. All of the humor in the special is everything else. Like him just fucking up lines or like getting pissed off at people. Like there's this one where he's saying like, where like the joke, if like he told it correctly, is literally like, hey, I went to the restaurant and the waitress asked me if I wanted or what I wanted to drink. And then I said, "Oh, I'll take a Coke." And then the waitress said, and he does like he's like, "Oh, we don't got Coke, but is Pepsi okay?" And then the punchline to the joke is literally just him saying, "Oh, if I wanted a Pepsi, I'd tell you I want a Pepsi. I want a Coke." That's the punchline to the joke. But every time he's like, well, if I wanted to Coke, fuck. And then he's like, okay, let's do it. Let's cut that. Let's do that again. And then he'll adjust himself and then like look at somebody in the audience and be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, you get up here and do this. And he's like, okay, all right. Let's do it again. And then like he does this. He has such a long buildup because it takes him so long to say the jokes. And he does it like 3 or 4 times, and every time he fucks it up in a different way. He's like, "Oh, we got fuck." You can't even remember like what the line is.
That's so good.
So yeah, that's like a shorter. It's like an hour long.
Mm-hmm.
But to give you an idea of like the character that he plays, yeah, it's all like it's fucking fantastic. I love all of it. Yeah.
Is this a cup pull now?
It is, but I forgot the cup. So what I'm gonna do is I have a random number generator.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna hit that and then go to the docs. It'll be a little less. Fun.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So, yeah. That's it for our celebrity recommendations. I guess I should say again, thank you to Elijah Wood for both Harvey and Fateful Findings.
Yeah.
And to all the other guests except for Anthony Starr.
Yeah,
for the other recommendations.
I scheduled a tweet for when this episode goes live, or when the Prophet episode goes live, and I'm gonna tag Anthony Starr on Twitter. I don't know if he'll interact with it or see it at all, but that'd be funny if he hops in or like he watches the stream and just like shits on it.
That's a good random number.
Good, because I kind of shit on him. Is it 69?
I am so. This is funny. That was a random number generator, and out of the 210 movies in the cup, those aren't just mine, just by the way.
Yes.
But out of the 210, it picked 91, which is Zodiac from 2007, directed by David Fincher.
Hell yeah! That's gonna be exciting.
Number 1 or 2 movie of all time. So
I'm pretty sure
spoilers.
You haven't seen that, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Kelly
Spoilers on the number that I'm gonna give it. Out of 10.
I was planning on, like, since we watched the Batman, I was like, oh, we should watch the Zodiac.
Yeah, Chloe and I actually watched Zodiac like a couple months ago, so
hell yeah,
I'll revisit it again. That's dope.
I'm planning on like I'm gonna do my number last, and then whatever you guys rate it, I'm gonna like adjust up. So if you guys give it like a 7 and an 8, I'll give it a 15, so it gets a perfect 10.
Okay, 10. Okay, you're gonna curve
yeah,
it. Nice.
Yeah. So, yep. Watch that movie. Whether or not you want to be spoiled, don't want to be spoiled for next week.
You'll be spoiled in a different way by watching it.
Yeah, especially one scene. There's one scene that's rough to watch, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. It can be intense at times. Sure. I think it's on Netflix.
I believe so.
I believe it's on Netflix. We'll just say it's on Netflix. If it's not, I'll flash it in big letters here. But I think it's on Netflix. Yeah, watch that before next week. And we are also on, speaking of platforms that you can watch things on, we stream this on Twitch and YouTube videos every Wednesday at 7 p.m. And we also release the podcasts same time on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. We have social pages, including a TikTok that has a post now.
Yeah. Well, I've posted the anchor.
Oh, right.
Those clips.
The clips.
But I did edit together a TikTok of the Willy Wonka, the Candy Heart Room kind of bit that we did.
Yeah.
It's got like 570 something views. I don't know how the TikTok algorithm works, but if you use the right hashtags, sometimes stuff works.
I think that's more views than all. I mean, to be fair, that's like a minute-long clip as opposed to like the 2-hour episodes, but that's more than like I think all of our episodes on YouTube have combined.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Yeah, in addition to that, we have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I think that's it.
Yeah.
At There Will Be Duds on everything. I think we don't have to adjust or
no underscores,
pay off
or
anybody.
fancy characters.
Yeah.
There's so many options here.
So many options with this. Okay. I got mine. Okay. I am the president of the bank,
Damn it.
TJ, aka J Spot Jack Cheese, and with me as always.
As always, I am your Ford versus Ferrari drunken best friend, Nick, aka Dr. Funk on Twitch, and with me as always,
I am the tank top storage and organizer of any Neil Breen movie, Travis, aka the Super General.
And I'm your guest who saw it. I am a witness to this movie.
Okay.
Keley Taylor.
I was like, why did she say saw it? Okay.
I was really.
That's so good. I was a witness.
What's your name?
And now you all.
Keley Taylor.
Okay. Bye.
And
Bye.
now you are
Bye.
all witnesses too.
You were all witnesses.